still awful cold in the morning. Of course, you guys don't realize it there when you're getting up at, don't come outside till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Lock out here. Go ahead, take her up. More. Wait. That was pretty good there. On up more, Bob. Right there. Yeah. We're just taking out the rough, first rough notch to get it down close to the log below for the V notch.
better?
Watch the fingers.
Oh yeah, I'm watching.
Okay.
Oh yeah, looks good.
Think that touching it or what?
Just barely. Just
Oh, okay.
enough to bother. You think it's centered outside. It's not. It's probably touching.
Okay, what I do now is center it over this log below. And go ahead and V-notch it. Or scribe it for V-notch. Let me see what we got here. Let's take it out. Here. Okay, there. Set my scribe to it. Approximately. Hard to see the pencil mark on this. On this part here. Yeah. The little one's full. Carol, you come on up and... This scribe kind of centers itself between the curve of these two logs. It centers itself, so you don't really have to worry about it. Just run along like that. It'll find its own center. Be a little careful coming across here. This is your most important area. The pinch areas are usually right here. So be careful that you use your scribe manner like you're supposed to. Got a set of 2 inches, just go to the other side, do the same thing all the way down. After a while, you just get kind of a feel for it, and you just go along and do it. Don't worry too much. It'll come out. I kind of lead with the butt of my scribe because I keep my pencil from breaking. My pencil breaks if I hold straight in all the time. Then it describes the curve of the log below. We'll just skip the door part. Roll up, Bob. Just put a little V there to line up with the scribe marks that go all the way down. Scribe marks are already on the log on the underside. You see the pencil line somewhat.
Kind of as a guide.
And we put this
We're gonna have to roll
V on here just to give me a guide to line my chainsaw up with.
We're gonna have to try to roll that a little more and then skid it back, it looks like.
Yeah. First I take my saw down and follow the line with just the chain depth, and then I go full depth. And then roll it over to the other position, take it down the other side and kick out the V-notch. Okay, Bob, I think that's good right there. Hold it right there and I got it. Okay. You can use log dogs or our friend to hold in place. Bugger's running pretty good now. Yeah. What you got going? Keep coming down to it. Worst pinch points are right here, so I always make sure I go in deep here, because your scribe doesn't ever seem to quite come on right when you're coming out of the bottom of the log. So you always want to clean up in here real good and make sure you're out beyond your line a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Jerry?
Just let her drop, yeah. Okay, and we'll kick out all the sawdust. And we'll take a look all along the edge.
I'm gonna roll it back, kick the sawdust out.
Okay. A little bit, yeah, post us down there. This here's, okay, you're tight on that end. Kind of pan down the whole thing. Then, why don't you come over here, Carol, and we'll show them what. The only problem here, we got this gap underneath here in the V-notch. We can see that the pinch point, like I told you, when you don't scribe properly, is you pinch out here. So put your little mark there, the pencil, and put it so you know where you got to take out at. And just take out that little pinch point there. I kind of know what I got to do. And that'll bring this on down. That's the only interference we got. The rest of the log looks pretty good. Is it gapped out in there a bit, Bob? Okay, we got a little pinch on the inside too, but that's about all it takes, and you got your V-notch. So we'll clean it up. We have a little gap there too, and that'll come out as soon as we take out the notch. Sometimes we don't get our notch right. Sometimes we get our notches right, and we don't get our V-notch right, and we have to go along and clean up on our V-notch. But this is just a little bit out of the notches we're gonna have to clean up. Okay, let's go ahead and roll her up. We didn't have to take out much because I already had it scooped out inside. All I have to do is take out the top. Huh?
You didn't take that on the other side? Is that all you want? Okay.
Yeah, just that
Here
one
we go.
side. Yeah, she's fitting down pretty close, but
Oh yeah, that spike will bring her down across.
yeah. Okay, how's that end up down there on the outside? Yeah. Yeah, spike will bring it down there. Back and forth and all around.
Looks real good, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Mud sound is not down here, but what's wrong with this one?
Well, you need that.
Oh, yeah. What I did is I come off my chainsaw line a bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and insulate it and spike it. That's it. Insulate, spike it, and spikes will suck it down the rest of the way. Pretty nice tight fit though. Do I need to cut some more insulation? I don't want to use. Just slice it down like this. You can use other things. You don't need to use this. We don't want to. And just pull it apart to whatever thickness you require. Just lay it in there and V-notch will squash it down. Give you a nice tight fit. Yeah, the wind
Like
usually...
the brace, all this comes up just about the
I know it. Carol, I'm going to have to pick that up.
There it goes.
There it went.
I'll have to have you pick up some more spikes tomorrow. I guess I should take a run in and get some. Before we didn't need any, did we?
Nope. Get her down quick. Ready?
Are we in position where it'll catch it right?
I think so, Jerry.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
rolled
Go
right
ahead.
up. Here she comes.
Dumper.
Oh, it's a whole piece of it fell out.
Oh, pull it back up, Bob, just halfway, and I'll push this back in. Up more? Okay, hold that. Oh, great, hold on. That's the way we should probably do it if we got two people.
Yeah, one guy just hold it and go along this jump in.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
I would do it if I was doing this by myself. I'd put it down in the V and then use a staple gun.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Okay, I'll saw this log out of the door here. Huh? Okay, just roll up right here. You got me rolling. Oh, stuck. Oh yeah, it sucked it right down in nice and tight. It centers itself, the V-notch centers itself. And the scribing with the V-notch, the inconsistencies of both logs shows up in the scribing. So you're getting rid of any curves in the logs and that sort of thing, and it does a heck of a lot of good. Takes care of a lot of things. I'll go ahead and saw out this door.
I was going to say you can cut that door out now. Oh. Let's see if I can suck that down.
Huh? I gotta get some more push in that insulation. What the heck did I do with my knife? Smaller than what it's going to be. It's going to be a couple inches more out. So we're just kind of sawing in so we can walk in and out. We got one more lot round to go up here, and then we'll be ready for the roof. The first one more round will take us 12 rounds high. We're going in sections of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Every second round brings us back to level. So we're going to have a level log on the top here, and on the far side for leveling our purlins to and everything. So we want to do everything in sequences of 2. The end logs won't be, so they'll be out of level a little bit on the ends. So when we set up our roof system, what we'll want to do is be measuring up from the floor to get our purlins at the same height. So we'll be showing that later. Okay, thank you. Okay, what we've done at this point is put the last wall logs up at the front and at the back. The front, we're 12 logs high, back we're 12 logs high. To measure up from the floor to the top of this log to see if it's the same height from the floor. The top log is sequenced. The lower part of this log, the log underneath, is with the large end this way. So the last wall log is going to be the small end this way. We're leaving this overhang for a garage porch. The back log is going to have the large end this way and the small end the other way. Doing the same sequence we've been doing all the way up the log home. Now, when we put up our purlins, we'll do the same thing. We'll be sequencing the same small end, big end sequence we've done before. Everything we've done so far since the door, we showed you the winter shots, and this cabin was only this high as this door, this little short door. Okay, we went up this far, that's 5 logs high with the V-notch in 17 hours. 17 hours doing all those logs, so we moved right along. Okay, this log's is 12 logs high, front and back. That brings us back to level, and you can see that the notch over areas aren't all that much more to do. We still have to notch down V-notch those top 2 wall logs. But everything we've done since that last scene I showed you on the other movie was exactly the same thing. We set our logs up there, picked the 2 biggest out of the log pile, then scribed them, notched them down roughly over the log below, then scribed them for V-notch, V-notched them, put them down, and we just kept working right all the way up the cabin. The door here, we've just cut in just so we could get through. It still has to go about 3 inches larger. You want to do that for access or whatever. The V-notch is holding the logs into place so they don't go inside or outside. What you're going to want to do probably is spike about 4 inches out from each side of the doorway where your frame is going. You can see we've got some pretty fair notches. The dry wood I found is a real difficult to scribe and saw with the saw because you keep it knocks out big splinters. But it worked out. Some of the V-notching isn't quite as good up near the top. Anyway, tomorrow we'll start on the roof sequence. You'll get doors and windows later. But basically, all you're doing is getting all your logs up first. Get everything else out of your mind. Get your logs up first. Foundations, then your logs. All the other stuff can come later. This is the thing that stops a person the most. And you fool around with ideas and stuff for other things. Don't do it. Just get your logs up first. We've got a nice little porch there just to get up on there and get in. Just anything to get the job done to get the logs up. We've got the car decking for the roof inside. It's another $350, and if we add on the price of what we added into the other film, it'll be coming close to about $900. So we'll sit down and figure it all out. This is what you do, though. Porch support. We use crooked logs here and there, so sometimes you'll see them in and out. That's because the main part of the log is supported fully underneath the log inside the log home. On the ends here, we'll just set them to the left or right a little bit. Nothing critical. Some of the logs did turn a little black. They laid winter. They laid during the winter and got a little discoloration. They had a little bleach and water. Third bleach, 2/3 of water. Scrub them off. They'll be nice and clean. And this is where you want your log home, out in beautiful country like this. Far mountains. Nice southwest exposure. And this is where you want to be. Okay, it'll take me a little bit. What we've done is notch down the ceiling joint, the last wall logs. And what we're going to do is check and see if all corners are the same height or approximately the same height. I've never checked all the way up this log home. I've never checked until just about half hour ago. You can get back in a spot like this and look over the top of the logs and see how they all line up at the corner to corner. Just spin your head, look from corner to corner, and get a general idea. See, eyeball right across there, come right on down. Look how flat and level it is to each other. This is by using all the methods I taught you in the first film. They come out just like this. Now what we're going to do is sight across the top of this log to the tape, take a measurement from the floor. The floor is our level guide. And do this to all four corners and we'll be able to see how close we are. Okay. Now this is just by using the methods of notching over and using the biggest log on the biggest portion of the log's side of the wall. It has to be notched over. Okay, we're going to get down here. Let's see if we can get in on that tape. Maybe. Okay, bring the tape up, Bob. Can't quite visualize that. Hold on. I can't really see it. Hold on.
I can tell you what it is.
Oh,
Just by going like this, hold it on 90, I see it's about 82 inches.
82? Okay, hold that one more in that time. Top wall log on the other side, and then take a look at the tape here. For 82 and 3/8. Okay, we'll go to the other side, and we'll sight across to this log and see what we got. Or in this corner, and come back outside, sight across to the other side, and let's read our tape. 82 1/4. Okay, now we'll go down to the other end. We have one problem at the other end. There is a pile of roof boards on the floor. We figured out how many high they were, 5, and then we'll have to add on to one reading. I can get the floor over there, but not over in this corner over here. That's my friend Bob.
I wonder if I can just measure it here. Possibly and get a good, I'll just get a sight measurement. Maybe that'd be better.
Yeah. We figure 7 3/4, so we're going to drop our head down here and take this measurement here as 70, we'll call it 74, and we want to add 7 3/4 inches. So it'd be 81 3/4. Now we'll go to the other corner. We're here at this part of the cabin. We'll sight across the other side. Right there. And look at the tape. And it's 81 inches. Okay. Okay, now we figured that out, and 81, so we're 1 inch out from corner to corner, and it's not enough to worry about. So figure that out. You're going to take half of that, so actually you're only out a ½ inch approximately all the way around in the whole cabin. So that's how you check your height of your walls. But I've never checked it all the way up, and just by using the methods that I've taught you before, you can end up the same way. If you want to, you can get rid of that ½ inch by flattening this log up here or whatever. We'll show you the roof system we're going to set up here, and we'll be filming that. We'll have a sequence for that. This is the same way we've been lifting all the logs. The ridge pole and the purlins are a lot longer, so we just got it hooked right there to the truck, going on up here to our snatch block up above, then down to the ridge pole, putting all the big ends towards the far end of the log home, and then we'll just get it right up on top. So what I'm going to do is take this chain right here, come back down the log, get the balance point right, and by the time we pull it up, it'll balance right on top of the log home. Okay, let's go ahead and do her. And it'll come in tight. Pull the log right on up. And she's going over to the balance point. And it's inside the log home where we can deal with it. Slack back the line. We'll pull down this end of the log and bring it right up into line. Here's the cross piece. It is going to, we flattened for the vertical supports for the purlins. The vertical supports for the purlins will go underneath the bottom side on this flat here. And just flatten it with a chainsaw, just like you did your half log for under the floor. The top of this cross piece is exactly 5½ inches from the underside of that log there to the flat, so that our purlins will notch down with the same amount, equal amount on each end. This cross brace will go across the end of the cabin. This is the horizontal support for the other end of the cabin for the purlin supports, and these will go on top of the end log of the log home, at the ends of the log home where the purlins go. What I've done, measure up the floor 5½ inches, put a level line. I took a level right at the line, scraped it across, then snap chalk the line the length of the log, but I'm only going to clean up a foot in, just like I showed you on the other tape there. We're only going to flatten about a foot area there. flat area there. Same thing the other end. That's about it. Going to be happening. The end wall log will be under here, underneath here. The purlin will be directly here and directly here. We'll be able to shift it sideways and saddle notch it over the end here. And then we'll flatten an area in here for a vertical to hold our ridge pole. So that way you get a general idea what we're doing. We're flattening out here. We figured in 4 feet from the end wall, from the outside wall. Here, it's 8 feet to the center of the cabin, and then 4 feet out, further out for the other purlin. So that's what you got. There's the cross braces for the purlins. This one here, and this is a horizontal support for the ridge pole, which will be up here. We placed all the big ends of the purlins this way. We'll notch them down. We'll describe that, how they do that. Notch these down to the height we want. We flattened the area here for this vertical support to sit on. We measured up 6 foot 6 from the floor, right where the floor, top of the floor is. Up here and up on the inside, and snap chalked a line across and cleared us a flat area, just like we do window frames, door frames, or the half log. Flatten them at the 6 foot 6 level. So you put a chalk line inside, outside, then you have a distance to work from, a flat level area to work from up on the roof. We've temporarily supported the horizontal and vertical supports with braces to hold them in place while we set the ridge poles on. Once we've notched the purlins to the dimension we wish, then we can slide the purlin in or out to get the proper pitch of the roof, in or out. So we just get it notched close, and then we can slide them in or out to attain this pitch. And also for the placement of our ridge pole, like that or that. So we just slide that purlin or that purlin in or out to attain our pitch. We've sawed the window hole in here smaller than what the frame is going to be, just so we have access in and out. Let's go up on top, take a look. Okay, what we've done is this top wall log that brought us back to level, and this top wall log that brought us back to level, we measured the distance from the center of this log to the center of this log, and then took that measurement and made sure that the logs at the other end, here and here, were equidistant apart. Then we sawed a flat, 6 foot 6, up from the floor on this end log here and here, and here and here on the far end of the log home. Then we made vertical supports and horizontal supports after we computed the distance for a 5/12 pitch, 4 feet in, times 5 is 20 inches. So we figure we want that purlin at approximately 20-inch height. Same thing over here. The actual center pitch height will be 40 inches from 6 foot 6. So then you compute the distance of this post, vertical support, and the 5.5 inches of this support log here. Then bring your purlin down to that distance, to that height. That will give you your pitch line. Then we'll want, of course, from 6 foot 6 up to the top of the ridge pole to be 40 inches, because that will give you your 5/12 pitch. That's 5 inches of rise here for every foot distance you come in this way. So 8 feet in is 8 times 5 is 40. And you got your height of your ridge pole. Now that's to the top of the ridge pole. We rigged these up on here, as you see in the film, and we just lifted them right up onto the support there. And we will be moving these in or out to attain our proper pitch. And then the car decking will go on top of this once we have our pitch and our ridge pole on. What we're going to do is flatten in the middle of this horizontal support here and put either 2x6s, 4 of them nailed together up, with 2 of them extended longer than the others to hold the ridge pole in center position. Once it's in position, of course, then the car decking will be nailed to it and hold it in place. And then we'll put other temporary supports, other trusses and so forth to brace them in. That is the ridge pole there. It doesn't look crooked. Well, it does look crooked, but when we roll it into position so that the bowing way to the center will bring the purlins to level, and so the flattest part of the purlin is facing towards the car decking on the roof. So you got to roll these in position until you have a nice flat edge here, and of course you can sight down from this log to your outer wall log, top wall log, and kind of get you a general idea of how your pitch is going. Let's go ahead and finish it up. Spring cleaning.
What's that?
Spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning, right out the window.
putting car decking straight on top of the purlins. Right door there. Up some more 14s to 10s. That could be straightened up a bit. Okay, today we opened up this window hole, put up the purlins and ridgepole, the final wall logs, and put half the car decking on the roof. We still have to bring out over the ends for the eave over, and this will be board and batted in on the ends. What we did is nail the car decking right to the purlins, and just walk inside and we'll see a nice tight fit there. This was all in less than about an 8-hour day, I guess. Let's go inside and take a look. See, there's hardly anything along there that's going to have to be filled in along where the top wall log meets the car decking. Real nice tight fit. Not bad at all. We'll finish it out tomorrow. Building site of Independence and the log home. I have a bulldozer in today, take the dirt down past the foundation. Even coming up now. We'll see how it looks when it gets done. This is pretty much as finished as the owner is going to do this log home right now. Still need some log ends trimmed along here. He's put cedar boards vertically here to give it a barn board effect. And there'll be a porch out here for cover over for firewood at this end. These will be supported up and beefed up. A porch, a shed type porch roof will come off at this angle, about 6 feet out. And got the front window in. I didn't
get that on this film. I'll add on from another film. Get it added on. Let's go up and take a closer look at the inside. He's got Herculite, or not Herculite, a tarp over the top, but there's 2x6 tongue and groove roof boarding all the way along. This is just his leisure hunting cabin, so this is, I think I figured it out close to $800 and 2 weeks work. 1 week last summer and a week this spring. So it didn't take that long, and we'll add up the time and the money costs and let you know what they are. Nice little log home. 16 by 22. Let's go take a look inside. The window, all we did is put 2x6 all the way around. Cut out the square 3 inches larger both directions, length and width, and then nailed in the 2x6 with insulation behind it, and inserted the window and put little quarter round to hold it in place. Painted the window frame brown. He's going to put it on, make a door out of car decking, 2x6 tongue and groove. And it's just a roughed in door for now to keep animals out while he's getting things together to do the door. Just from the other end, he just exited a hole out for the chimney. He's got to do some work on that to get it so it doesn't touch the tarp. He rolls that back when he's here. And the window out there. He's sitting on this little hill overlooking the mountains here. Nice view. And the porch will come out just about like that, for about 5-6 feet, I guess. Nice little log home though, for the money involved and the time spent. This is inside. He has his table there, shelves, counters, stove, the window, barn board upstairs, the ceiling joists, or they're purlins and ridgepole coming across, and the car decking up above, giving us a real fine looking over ceiling. Turned out real nice. And the floor, car decking, 2x6 tongue and groove. Old table with a lot of old hunting pictures on it. But that's what it looks like after doing a little extra finish work. Door. There's this couch in there. You can see there's a lot of room in a 16 by 22. You don't want to think that 16 by 22 sounds small, but a couple of people could live here real easily until they got around to building their big, fancy, expensive log home. And so you can see there's quite a bit of room. Looks real nice. And that's about it. I'll give you a closing statement. We'll add cost, time, and explain a few things, and that'll close out this film. While you're living in your little hunting leisure log home, you can be making plans for building a large T-shaped log home like this one, which is in Independence in the Log Home, the movie. It's a large T-shaped log home, 24 by 32. A bit larger undertaking, about 2 to 3 times as many more notches. Okay, this is the 20 by 22 or 16 by 22 log home in Grassroots Leisure Log Home. And you see we've put the porch on out here. We used regular 2x4 rather than car decking out there because we didn't need the insulating quality of the tongue and groove. And he's put a wood storage area there. And he lowered the porch a bit so the water wouldn't splash on the logs. And we still have to put the porch across here and out about 5 feet. As you can see, he got his front door built. And he should have went one log higher or 2 logs higher, get a little more head space there. But he only used this mostly in the summertime, so he didn't put any insulation, styrofoam insulation between the car decking and the steel roofing. He could have put it in between it for more insulating quality. And he put board and bat on the ends. Let's go take a look at the ends. And he's got water and electricity. He put these logs here until he gets his porch down. They're cutouts from the windows. Put them down here so that the water don't splash up on the porch onto the lower logs when the snow starts falling off this winter. And we just put pole supports up here to hold up the ridge pole and purlins, give them some more stability. And you can see he put board and bat up, put cedar boards up, vertical. He'll put a fascia piecing along here. And there's insulation between this board and bat out here and the board and bat inside. There's insulation in there built in. And here's a stovepipe coming out temporary until he gets another type of setup. Like I said, the porch will come out at an angle like this, from about right there, out, and be supported by these supports out here on the porch. Backside. And he's nice, stable, and secure. Nice and warm in there. And next he has a board bat in there. And he's been doing the finish up work. I just helped him with the log work. Getting at it slowly, little by little. It'll be done pretty soon. But it's a very fine cabin for, I think about, I know at one time I said $800. But now by the time he's got the steel roofing on and so forth, it's probably into $1,200. I think it was another, $250, $300 for the roofing. And he's got a nice comfortable place there. It'll last for many years. He'll put another coating of wood life over the logs. And then later on varnish them or linseed oil. And a couple more windows. Got water and electricity now, so it's a pretty fine little cabin. Just do it.